Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 28th meeting of the Liquor Commission. This week, we have no meetings to approve, so I'm going to move right into agenda number 1. We've got a public hearing for the application number 23-02012 for Don Julio Kim Vineyards. This is a wholesale beer and wine license.
Good afternoon, members of the commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of Don Julio Kim Vineyards LLC. Appearing with me is Avery Neal, the manager. We provided the commission via letter our applicant's business hours. Other than that, we have no revisions to the investigative report.
Mr. Matsumoto?
This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify either for or against this application? Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Mr. Gota,
Yes.
so for the record, can you please read the days and times of operation that was in the letter that was sent to us, please?
Sure, regular business hours will be weeklies on Monday from 12 noon to 1 p.m.
Okay.
Would there be any exceptions for holidays or things like that that we should be aware of?
Yeah, how would we go about notifying for that?
I guess if it's a regular holiday, it will be closed.
Right, like this last holiday season, both Christmas Day and New Year's Day were on Monday, so that's, we would need.
Other than standard holidays, they will be open every Monday from 12 noon to 1 p.m.
The only thing I guess I would suggest is maybe if it gets approved, you would maybe want to send something to the commission so our staff would know, our administration would know that your operating hours Monday 12 to 1, except if like a holiday
Sure.
holiday falls on a Monday,
Sure.
then we may be closed.
Because it's such a short window, we need to
Understand.
make, it's not like they can stop by anytime. Right?
Mhm.
So we just need to make sure they're aware.
Yes. We'll do.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, good. You want to make a motion?
Motion to approve application number 23-02012.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 23-02012 for Don Julio Kim Vineyards. Sorry, guys, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and I also am a yes, so the motion carried, application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. All right, moving into agenda item number 2. We've got application number 23-02519. It's a public hearing for Thai. Sorry.
Vientiane,
Vientiane?
yeah, it's
Okay,
capital.
thank you. Cuisine LLC. This is for a general restaurant license.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of
Thank
the
you.
commission, Greg Nishoka, agent appearing on behalf of the applicant. To my right is Jolene Kunsara. I did verify the spelling of her name with the hearings report before the start of today's hearing. We have received the investigator's report, have no changes there too.
Okay, Mr. Matsumoto?
This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to testify either for or against this application? Okay, I see none. Commissioners, questions?
But
Yeah, that's basically asking, it looks like there was going to be a new floor plan with delineations in red prior to the public hearing. I'm not sure if I have access to that. Was that submitted?
All we, taking what we have here, that's all we have. Unfortunately, it's not in color, the one, what we were able to take off the internet. So I can't really.
Okay, at the prior to the public hearing, it was stated that that would be submitted with the permitted premises delineated in red. Are you able to tell us what is included in the?
Right.
It's all, it's just all the. It's nothing,
This is the entrance.
yeah, entry and then.
The way I don't recall, trying to recall that what portion was deleted. I'm sorry, I'm not able to answer that question.
No,
for you.
no need to apologize. In the minutes from the previous hearing, we just, it was stated that it would be shown. Typically, the floor plan is marked in red so that we know exactly what the
Right.
permitted premises is. It's just hard for us to see it when it's black and white. But if it is the entire premises that we're seeing here, that
That is, it
It
is,
is, okay.
yes. Yeah, I was kind of unsure if what was deleted, because I'm familiar with this
Right.
premises and the prior licensee in that, and then I know there was some intervening changes were made because there was somebody else that was interested in taking on the premises. But I believe those issues were taken care of by the present applicant, and what you see there is the actual floor plan of the restaurant itself. Well, it's a restaurant footprint, let's say, the licensed premises.
Okay. Mr. Sato, do you have anything to add at all with this?
Oh, okay,
That'd
great.
be great. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I took this off the commission website and wasn't in color, so I apologize.
Yes.
I think that will be something we probably as a commission and will work toward addressing IT in figuring out these red floor plan things only because when we say yes to it, we're agreeing to the space that you're saying you're gonna use.
Right.
And if I can't see it in red, I feel bad saying yes, when I don't even know if that's the actual space.
I agree with you,
So
totally.
I'm just, we're gonna figure it out because it happens quite a bit. Where it doesn't show red on our copies. As we wait for that, do you mind if I ask a few additional
Go right
questions? while we
ahead.
wait for the
We'll
floor
circle
plan?
back.
Okay. So the only other thing I was going to point out is, I do see. There was a few small violations in 2021, so let's just make sure we continue to work with those things that might have been for your prior, the
That's
prior.
prior
people, that
licensee.
is Licensee,
Yes,
but we are in that area, so let's just make sure we keep an eye on those things too. Because it was in 2021.
thank you, Commissioner. We will, definitely. And I have great confidence that the current management will.
I'm assuming so. I just know that those areas, sometimes the areas are something that happens and then you're stuck in that situation, so.
Understood, thank you.
Sure. But we'll wait for Mr. Sato and the floor plan.
Thank you. You're good. You're good. Thank you.
You? All right. Mr. Uyoka, one last, I'm sorry. Mr. Nishaba, one last quick question. There's no outside seating, correct?
Correct,
Everything's enclosed, yeah?
yes,
One entrance door only. Correct.
yes, one to the front. Got it. The one entrance to the
Any
rear.
more? No?
No questions.
Okay.
Motion to approve application number 23-02519.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 23-02519. All those in favor?
Aye.
I am also a yes. The motion carried. Application is approved.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving into public hearings for agenda number 3. This is application number 23-03247 for Gulick Partners LLC. And they are in front of us for a retail general license.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission, Keith Kyuchi for the applicant, Gulick Partners LLC. We have no corrections or additions to the investigator's report. Just want to give the Commission a background of the area. This is the corner of Gulick Avenue and North King Street. This is the Diamond Head Mauka corner. And it's the last time it was redeveloped was about 25, 30 years ago. There's a parking lot right on North King. The premises is set back and they've been operating for at least a year without a liquor license, simply as a coffee shop.
Any questions?
So Mr. Kyuchi, so can we make sure, I mean, we've kind of talked about this with our prior public hearing. I know that we struggle sometimes with the color prints, but when we do get a chance, I mean, if you do have the floor plan, we would want to try to see it in color because I don't see any red delineation.
You know, and
On
for,
the
I
current
guess,
one.
for my clients, what I'll try to do is get, probably the easiest way to do is to get a PDF copy and save it in color, and that might be the simplest way to get it to the commission. Yeah, we can do that. That's
Thank you.
easy enough. We made a substantial investment on PDF software about 6
Okay.
months ago.
That would be great. Thank you. The other thing I have is, so I'm assuming that the violations are based off the owner for Champ Sports Bar.
Yeah, so to give you some background, AG Capital has an interest in two other retail licenses. They have another application in Waipahu. They're primarily a investment partner in all of the retail licenses. They are the managing partner at Champs, and Champs had an issue for a while with two issues. One was not being the 30% restaurant requirement. The other one was not really noise as much as they were out of category because they were just a restaurant license without music dancing, and they were doing DJs for a while.
Okay.
That has since been remedied when they got a restaurant music dancing license.
Okay.
So and as you can see, they're the managing partner, also Chart House.
Mm.
And they're in the process of acquiring the back 50% interest in Chart House. So AG's primary interest is in the restaurant operations. They're sort of like a silent partner in the retail operations.
So just my comment is I mean, as we see, right, based off the
Right.
violations that were there for Champs, just make sure that they know that it's now retail, right? And we want to make sure they don't sell to underage, do any of those things, a little bit different than a restaurant license, but just keep an eye on the violations.
Well, the good news on that is they have no violations like that on Kapalulu or Makaloa. They've been pretty vigilant. This is not an area, Kalihi, that you're gonna see homeless. So you got the problem like down by the canal.
Yeah.
So you don't see the issue as much here. And I do know the area very well because I actually went to high school at Farrington, so.
Okay. Sounds good. That was my only two comments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, and they're well taken. I'll talk to the client. Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion to approve application number 23-03247. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 23-03247. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I also vote yes. The motion carries and the application is approved.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, moving on. No adjudication hearings today, and I'd like to call up the administrator, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Sal Pativos, Honolulu Liquor Commission Administrator. I think it'd be a good thing to start off with the fact that 4 of our LCI 1 candidates have cleared suitability. Yay. And we're anticipating that 2 of them will start training, will be in the office by the 1st of March and 2 more on the 16th of March. And I think 1 is pretty close to finishing suitability. And with regard to that, as you know, that we put that particular position on continuous recruitment. We have, I think, another 8 candidates that are being interviewed. I think that we interviewed 2 today, and several others will be interviewed next week. So hopefully we'll continue to have candidates that would be willing to work for the commission moving forward. Additionally, in terms of recruitment, we also received a referral from DHR for a candidate for the chief investigator position. And I think staff's trying to set up an interview for that sometime next week, I think. So hopefully things will go well. And also just as a backstop, we have also spoken to somebody, interviewed somebody with regard to being a chief investigator temporarily on an 89-day contract. We're looking for somebody who has been there before, has experience with regard to licensing, and can probably come into the position and ramp up relatively quickly. It's difficult given the fact that we're also interviewing somebody else, so who knows? But I think it's one of those things where it makes sense that we should have backup if things don't work out with a candidate. Additionally, I think a bit of good news in terms of the reorganization that we've been trying to do in order to provide upward mobility for the LCI twos and for the field services branch. We've met with DHR and finance earlier this week, and they were happy with the way we've operationalized the changes that we want to do. And at this point, they are doing some editing with regard to our narrative, as well as some of the exhibits that need to be presented. But I think that's so hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to forward that package to the union for approval. And then beyond that, then we will need to get approval from the managing director. Fingers crossed, hoping that goes along pretty quickly and everybody approves it along the way. I think it's one of the critical things that Wei Chen highlighted in our system review. So I think that would be a really important step for the agency to do that. That said, in terms of being able to fill those positions, this will be organic and that they are promotional, and it also requires us to develop people in the LCI 1, LCI 2 positions so that they can be considered for promotion to the LCI 3s. Okay, also, I think, I promised that I would be able to provide information as to how many people took the mandatory training so far. There are only 12 people who have yet to finish the mandatory training, and 3 of those are on leave right now. So as we move forward towards February 16th, hopefully we'll keep track and keep you apprised of what's going on there. And beyond that, I'm open to questions that you may have.
Questions? That's a good update. Thank you.
I actually have a question. How to go with the police department and the unlicensed identities that we are finding? Are we getting anything on the calendar that we can move forward with?
I think at this point in time, the discussions were what information could be provided to them, and we've been talking to CORE about those things. That said, I think it's good that the agents, the HPD and the agency are speaking to each other.
Exactly.
And cooperating towards a common goal.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, see this thing.
Yes.
Anybody, you guys, good? Okay. Thank you, Administrator.
Thank you.
Okay.